Republican chairman. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, first of all, let's start with, we all just agreed on one thing. A lot of people will be watching.
Absolutely.
Yes. What's the part, do you think, that can really turn the evening?
I think that it's going to be Trump when he focuses more on the economy and what he plans to bring. And I think people are going to be really surprised in his professional demeanor that you've seen when he met with the pastors in Detroit as well as the Mexican president in Mexico.
Well, I think that also what's going to turn on is when Trump displays that he doesn't have any substance and he's incapable. And in those two instances you talked about, Trump went into Mexico with all bluster and he came out embarrassed. He talks about nothing but the wall before he crosses the border. When he crosses it, he can't spell wall. And he goes before the pastors and he's going to bluster and bloviate to a group of religious people. And when the pastor steps up, he shrinks away and melts in his shoes. So I think that the real important part of the debate is going to be when people start to realize that Donald Trump doesn't know anything about very many things.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how and when that happens, though, because you got two people on the stage. And I wonder what, and it's a man and a woman, but it's also Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton that I think that throws the sex portion out of it. But if you're Donald Trump, how do you debate Hillary Clinton knowing that she's a woman? How do you do that?
As a woman, I would say you treat her like you would anyone else. Okay. I don't want anyone treating me differently because I'm a woman in a debate. I believe that you speak the truth, you speak the facts, and you can do it in a respectful fashion. That does not mean that he should bow and curtsy and treat her differently because she happens to be a female. And
should Clinton be the aggressor because she's going to be looking to try to expose Trump as not qualified? How does she do that? Does she stalk him, around the ring, or does she?
Well, I think what she needs to do is demonstrate what is true, and that is she's the most qualified person who's run for president in our lifetime against the person who's probably the least qualified person to run for president in our lifetime. For Trump, for him to do what Lisa just suggested, he would have to do something different than he ever has done. The only way he's ever dealt with women is to call them names and to belittle them, and I think that it's going to be tough for him to try to break away from that. And if he does, that's a very, very low bar. If the bar for Trump is to just be civil, then the country's not going to get anything out of him.
Don't you believe that both of these candidates have an obligation to the American people to not talk about each other, but just to address issues that affect taxpayers, that affect parents, that affect people trying to pay for college?
Absolutely. I believe that they do, and I believe that that's probably the tack that Hillary will take. And I think that puts her at an advantage when she can talk about what she can do, what she has done, compared to Donald Trump, who's basically been a scammer his entire career.
Do you think that Donald Trump will stay on topic and not address Hillary Clinton?
I think he's going to stay on topic, but I also think that he's going to be the one that actually can tell you that he's not only worked for a living, but produced jobs, knows and understands the economy. I mean, it's Hillary's husband and James Carville that said the economy's stupid. And when I look at Hillary's past, she was a legislator, she's been a senator, a first lady, and a secretary of state. And based on that, she didn't author one piece of legislation out of New York. South Korea, North Korea, Iran, Iraq, I mean, none of us are safer than we were when she took office. So to say that she is more accomplished and has the best candidate the president has ever seen, I think is an absolute misnomer and a false statement in and of itself, because he's qualified. He's the actual one that has actually made payroll. She's, to the best of my knowledge, has no understanding what it's like to run a business, run an economy, and put the people in place that can actually make this economy stronger, bigger, better, faster.
Well, there's no question that Hillary's by far the more qualified candidate. But what Donald Trump's record is as a businessman is to scam people. Trump University scammed people, scammed $2.6 million away from Texans. He's created jobs. He's created jobs overseas. That's where his clothes have been made. And the real evidence about what would be in his business background would be in his income tax returns, but he's hiding them.
Okay. Real quickly, is tomorrow night more important for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton?
I think it's going to be more important for Hillary Clinton, personally. I think Donald Trump has proven and will continue to prove. In the past, when he went to Mexico, I didn't see anyone that cowered. The man knew how to spell wall. He's built stuff. He's constructed stuff. I didn't see him cower. I saw pastors cover him with a prayer shawl and pray and intercede for this man. The man didn't crumble. He didn't melt. He knows what he wants. He's going to go after it, and he's going to show the American people why he's going to be the next 45th president.
Okay, we're about to cut you off, but you need to respond to this. Who's it more important for?
There's no question it's more important for Donald Trump because he's got to cross a bar, but that bar's very low for him.
All right, well, thank you both for joining us. Again, that debate is tomorrow night. Lester Holt will moderate here on NBC 5, 8 o'clock. Make sure to join us. And thank you for such a civil debate.